Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Deidre Anderson and I'm a USA Today bestselling romance author. I write under multiple pen names, but they're all under the romance umbrella and under contemporary romances. Now, I want to spend the rest of the time of this year. This video should be out around New Year's Eve. So we are going to be reflecting on the year. If you see me looking down, I have notes down. As usual, I'm in front of my computer setup. So that is what I'm looking at. Now, seeing that it's close to the end of the year, we're going to be reflecting on some of the mistakes that I made in 2025. Not from a place of regret at all, but for clarity and to help you guys, if you are in the state that I was in, or if you are an indie author starting out or still in that state of wanting to create a profitable, sustainable author career, but you're not sure if you're making some of the mistakes that I am, or you may not be sure what you may be doing wrong. These are simple things that we often miss, but I had to learn some really hard lessons with them in 2025. And this is just part one because I've made so many mistakes that I will be sharing and what I've learned from them. So if that sounds like something that you could benefit from, feel free to stick around. Of course, do all the things that YouTubers tell you to do. Go ahead and hit that like button so I know that you appreciate the type of content that I'm coming out with. Hit the subscribe button and make sure you ding that notification bell so that you can be notified each and every time I upload a new video. Right now, I'm aiming for about 2 videos a month, but of course, my author career comes first to me. So if I do have deadlines, or if I'm also a chronically ill writer, so if I'm not feeling well, the videos may be slow coming, but you'll always have at least 1 to 2 videos a month. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Many of us, when we're trying to build author careers, the marathon, the road is endless, and we make so many mistakes along the way, oftentimes not really of any fault of our own. It's just that there's so many different and contradicting advice out there that we don't know which one to follow. So we end up trying to do a lot with not a lot of resource or research behind it. And then we end up doing so many things that we probably don't even need to do, and they end up in videos like this in the mistakes. So today we're going to cover 5 of them, and there are 5 simple things that may resonate with you or not. They resonate with me because of the type of person I am, and I'm gonna dive right in because the first one is something that my associates, even here in Author will tell me all the time. And we say it all the time, but we don't remember. And it is not okay to say yes to everything. In 2025, I said yes to almost every promotion or collaboration that crossed my desk. Because I was at a point where I was so low that I was like, okay, something isn't working. Clearly, I'm working my butt off, but something isn't connecting. So I may as well try new things. And I tried everything. 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 I started, many of you know, I don't know if you knew, but back when I was still doing Sky Winter, which was in 2024, I guess, when I was still active on YouTube, I started running collaborations. I would organize them, get the authors together, set up all the promotion, run all the ads. I was doing the organization. And that in itself takes a lot. It takes a lot. It's not hard to, when you think about it, the tasks that you're doing aren't hard, but it's very time consuming, and it has people coming to you 24/7 with problems. And I was doing, because again, I also do covers. So I was doing all the covers for the collabs, all the promotional graphics for the collabs. I would answer any questions. If there was something wrong with someone's cover, I will do that. If there was I was doing a lot. And this is on top of me doing full-time school, writing under multiple pen names, and publishing books. But guess what? I enjoyed doing it. I still enjoy doing it. But now I'm learning that, you don't have to do everything all at once. So I did. And then the thing is, because I was so gung-ho on this new thing, I was joining collabs that had nothing to do with my brand. Nothing to do with my brand. So I was in a bunch of collabs under multiple pen names, sometimes in collabs with more than one pen name. And I had so much going on that wasn't really serving my brand. So that's my first mistake, saying yes to everything. And I think you can overcome this by having a clear vision of what your brand is. Because if I was sticking to what I thought my brand was or what my brand should have been, I wouldn't have said yes to a lot of the stuff that I did. And onto that, another thing that you have to always remember, not because you say yes once means that you can't change your mind after and basically pull back. Because that was a big problem for me. I hate letting people down. So once I said yes, I think it got to the point where, this is going to freak a lot of people out, but I think it got to the point where in October and November, I had dang near double-digit releases. Remember, I was publishing shorts and novellas. So one of my books could be anywhere between, say, 10,000 words to, say, 40,000 words ish. But it was oftentimes, especially in that time period where I was doing back to back releases and school, all those books were about 10 to 15,000 words because I just couldn't physically or mentally produce anymore. It's dangerous because this can lead to burnout, and did lead to burnout. I know a lot of my colleagues that I'm talking to right now that did the same thing that I did. They said yes to so many of these that they're burnt out now. They can't write. They can't bring themselves to form ideas. And that happens more often than a lot of authors are willing to admit. If you overcommit, it's very easy for you to get burnt out because your brain just needs a break. Your brain needs a break. As much as we want to push and want it to give us top production, our brains need breaks. And that's the same thing with whether it's promotions, collabs, or just being delusional like me and producing 1,000,001 things of the same things multiple times. Your brain needs a break. So you need to know the type of person you are. Luckily for me, I am okay with doing a lot of output without a lot of how can I say this? Like, you have to know the type of person you are. I can easily dictate, say, a 28K book in 2 days, right? Or I could dictate a 20K book in 1 day and I'll be fine. If you are not a dictator, it sounds wrong, but if you're not using dictation, not dictatorships around here. If you're not, for example, if you're not doing dictation, you're typing. Like, I could never type 20,000 words in 2 days now, not with my chronic illnesses and my hands that are wonky. And my wrists that hurt. So it depends on your scenario, depends on your situation, how you are doing your output. You have to evaluate what you can do and what's okay for you. Because saying yes to everything, it drains your energy, it drains your brain power, it leaves you with fragmented focus because you have so many things to do. You sometimes get paralyzed and don't know where to start. So it's very important for you to analyze where you are, what you can realistically do, and plan accordingly for that. Because that's the main mistake I made in 2025. I can't say I have learned from it. I can't definitively say that I'm not doing similar things in 2026, but what I've tried to do is get better. So I haven't said yes to a lot of things. I am still trying to do a lot of things, but that's just in my nature. That's just how I operate. And I know it stresses a lot of other people out when they see my work schedules, but that's just how I function. It may not be the right way for everybody, but I function by having a lot of things on my plate. I think it's sort of like a coping mechanism to distract my brain, because if I'm not like constantly doing something, my brain goes to weird places. So that's just me. You have to find what works for you, and when you do, stick to it. Don't just say yes to participate. It's okay. FOMO is real, but it's okay. I promise you, whatever you're missing out on, if it doesn't serve you, you'll be okay either way. Okay, mistake number 2 that I made was getting in my head about writing every day. There is a common piece of advice that keeps going around on AuthorTube, on the internet, and it's been going around for years, that says, as an author, you need to write every day. That is a lie from the pit of hell. That is a lie. And so many new authors get that in their head. And I did that too this year, a whole lot. If a day would pass or 2 days would pass and I hadn't written, I would beat myself up so much. Never mind that I had other things going on. Never mind that I wasn't feeling well. Never mind that school was being like crazy. I would get in my head so much and beat myself up for the mere fact that I couldn't even write 100 words today. And who says that you need to write every day? I don't know who came up with that lie or that myth. Yeah, as an author, you want to like consistently be writing, but that looks different for everyone. Consistency for you may just be writing on the weekends because that's all you can realistically fit into your schedule. Consistency for me may be dictating 1 to 2 days a week and doing admin stuff or marketing stuff or school stuff every other day. It's like consistency looks different for everyone, and no one gets to dictate your writing schedule except for you. Nobody. I'll say that again for the people in the back. No one except you gets to dictate your writing schedule. There is no hard and fast rule that says you have to write every day. If you can only write once a month because that's what's realistic for you, then write once a month. At least you're writing. Now, writing once a month is probably not the best strategy for being becoming a full-time sustainable author, but again, life looks different for everyone. Okay, if that's what you can manage, do it. If you are able to write every day, perfect, that's for you. But if that's not your reality, don't beat yourself up about it, because I got in my head about it. I think it was a whole month, and it wasn't on purpose. I would set out to write every day, and then I would get up to write, something else would happen, school would go crazy, something else would become due, and I just didn't get the opportunity to. So there was a whole month or month and a half that I didn't even touch any of my manuscripts. Now, luckily, I was already ahead in the year, so that's another thing I learned, but different day, different thing. I was already ahead in my books for the year that I had releasing, so it was okay that I wasn't writing for the month. I wasn't under deadline, I wasn't under pressure, so not writing for the month worked out in my favor. And I find that because I got that time off, when the next time I dictated 20,000 words, and that was, I think, from 1 a.m. to maybe 4 in the morning, so like 4 hours of dictation, and it felt good. And I could not have done that before when I was go. Again, sometimes our brain needs a break. So no one should tell you that you should write every day, every other day. It's up to you. And if you don't let it get to you, nothing can stop you. Because what I did and what I discourage is that I got in my head so much about not writing that when I finally would sit to write, I would start thinking, oh, I haven't written so long. This is going to be hard. And it got harder because my brain told me it was going to be harder. So we want to avoid that because it hurts you, especially if you have chronic health illnesses like I do. You don't want to be pushing yourself that hard if that's not your goal. Now, you do have people that do like the November writing months and the challenges. If you're doing a challenge and the challenge is to write every day, go for it. I will be your biggest cheerleader. But if that's not where you are in life, don't stress yourself out. It's not worth it for anyone. And that guilt that we put on ourselves just paralyzes us and stops us from being able to create. So away with the guilt, and onwards and forward with what we can do and what our bodies allow. What I try to remind myself is that consistency matters. Daily output does not. So as long as you're consistently writing, all will be well. Doesn't matter if that's daily, every other day, weekly, bi-weekly, even once a month. Stick to what you can do and just keep doing it. Mistake number 3 I made is something that a lot of people struggle, and that's comparing myself to others. Now, with me, this comes on quickly and sometimes unexpectedly, and it's not always something you can avoid, but it's something you can avoid dwelling on. Now, I mentioned that I was in a really bad spot toward the end of 2024, maybe in the beginning of 2025 as well. And I would get so in my head whenever some author on social media or even author friends at the time would say, "Oh, I got this many page reads," or "I sold this many copies." And I would, of course, I'd be happy for them. Of course, you are happy for them, but in the back of my mind, I would start questioning what I'm doing wrong. Like maybe I should be producing more, or maybe I should be writing this. I would look at what they're doing, and then I would find myself reshaping my books, reshaping my brand, just to try to be like that other person. And what I found was all I was doing was confusing my readers. All I was doing was confusing my poor readers that wanted what I had to offer, but because I was so busy comparing myself to others and trying to become them, essentially, I was forgetting who I was and why I write and what I wanted to do. So it was a big learning point to me because I had to go through certain lengths to not put myself, even now, this is a prime example of it. Right now, at the end of the year, I am in certain Facebook groups where authors are sharing their $1 million profits, $1 million earnings, their 5, 6, and 7 digit earnings for the year of what they've been able to achieve with their author career. And you want to be happy for these people and you share them on. And I am happy for each and every one of them because that takes a lot of hard work, dedication, blood, sweat, and tears, and sometimes a lot of money to get to that level. But what I try to do is limit how much I see that those interactions, because I know for myself mentally I'm not in a place where I can see it all and not later compartmentalize and analyze why they are doing that, how I could be there. Because the reality is most of these people are further along in their careers. They may not say it, but they are further along in their careers than where I am currently and where I was back then. But because I was so busy comparing myself to them, I never gave myself the chance to actually grow in what I was doing and become better. Things changed for me when I blocked that out. So my advice, if you're stuck in this part of life, is to remove yourself from the people and those places that cause you to do those comparison games, right? Let your peers know that, hey, for your own mental health, you would prefer not to be just bombarded with these things. Maybe have them give disclaimers that they're going to be talking about finances or they're going to be talking about like stats, because not all conversations are constructive for you in the place where you are. You got to know where you are in life. I guess that's the key for this for this video, is that you have to know where you are mentally. You have to know where you are in your career. If you're not at a place where you can constructively receive someone else, basically, if it's not a conversation structured to here's what I did so you can do it too type of situation, or if you guys are not in the same level, it may not be constructive for you to be in that conversation. So maybe having those disclaimers or removing yourself from those groups or removing yourself from those circles, at least knowing, like, I didn't completely leave the groups, but I know that at this time of year, that's what they're showing. So I avoid certain platforms, I avoid certain groups, I avoid certain social media platforms, because I know that that's what I'm going to be getting. Now, if you think that is going to be motivating for you and you want to see these authors who have earned 5, 6 figures and telling you their journeys, go for it. Go ahead and at a certain point I will, because I do like studying from others and I do like running case studies to see what other people have done, right? But I have to be in the mind frame and ready to receive that information. So until I'm ready, I won't go. And it's on Facebook for me, so I can always just scroll back down if I want to. When I'm ready and want to evaluate that, I can always go there, scroll back down, pick out a few and read it. But right now, at the end of the year, I tend to get in my head because I'm looking back over what I've done and what I've achieved and my numbers, and I don't want to fall into that comparison game because I did that a lot earlier in the year and it just stunted me. So that's the third thing we're going to be avoiding in 2026. And number 4, this one is a big one. And this may be the one thing I would say single-handedly changed my career, single-handedly changed my output and what I was earning. And that was, the biggest mistake I think I made was writing what I thought my readers wanted and not what I enjoyed. So a little story for you, story time. Back in the year, maybe around February, the year had just started. Maybe around February, March, I think around that time, or was it April? I don't remember, but earlier in the year of 2025, I joined this, I got together with some of my author peers and we were going to promote and release hockey romances. Now, if you guys know me, y'all know I'm not a sports girly. I am not. I have written sports romances in the past. I've written American football romances. I say American football. I'm from Jamaica, okay? I'm from a British colony. For me, football uses your foot. What y'all call soccer is what we call football. But you know, I will give it to you guys because I'm writing for an American market. So I will say football, even though y'all use your hands. I will say football. But anyway, this one was supposed to be hockey. And I thought, you know, hockey romances are popular. They're popping. Let's go ahead and do it. Now I did it. The way it was being done, I did not enjoy it because I wasn't writing for myself. Really, I was saying, okay, what do these hockey people want? Let's write that. And I know it came across in the way I wrote it. I had ARC readers tell me essentially, you know, it was a good story, but it wasn't it didn't have the same feel. You know, when a reader tells you that, it really gives you a gut punch because you want to have that consistent author voice. And of course, if I was supposed to do that again today, I would do it much differently because I now write things that I never thought I would write in a million years, but I've made it fun for me. So I think that's what this lesson taught me is that if you can write anything, any trope, unless you don't like that trope, but I can write any trope, any setting, I just make it a challenge. Except for I don't see myself ever writing historicals. I read them now and again, but I don't see myself taking a plunge to write it. It has too much research in it. To me, it comes like school because I don't know about those time periods, so I'd have to do the research and then I can't be bothered. So for me, I'll always be a contemporary girl, but any trope in that, I would write it. What I would do is how I do my market research now is I would essentially figure out, okay, what is a trope? Using the example that I did in the story time, I'm going to use hockey romances, okay? So we're writing hockey romances. What I would do, the very first thing I would sit and do is figure out how I can spin this to what I would enjoy writing. Right now under Deidre Anderson, I know that I'm enjoying writing the BDSM, reframing I don't even know if we can say that on YouTube, but it's 25 minutes in, I should be fine. Reframing how people see the BDSM lifestyle. It's not all about smexy times. As much as a lot of people see it, it's not an excuse to write smut. It's literally, there's so much to that lifestyle that I did a lot of research in. A few years back when I was writing my nightcap novellas, and I didn't do a lot with what I learned. I'm not in the lifestyle, but I have done the research and I have spoken to people that's in the lifestyle. I am still in a bunch of forums of people that are in the lifestyle, and I don't know, I enjoy writing it, and I feel it's like a challenge to me to reframe how people think, how people see it, and how people view control in a sense of it's not manipulative, it doesn't have to be harmful, and I want to reshape that. So I enjoy doing that right now. I'm enjoy doing that with Deidre Anderson, especially with my people that look like me, you know. Oftentimes people assume that black folk aren't in the BDSM, and I don't know if I can say this on YouTube, so I will spell it out, the KINK community, but they are. And there are ways that, there are things that goes through black people's minds that doesn't go through other races, even other POC people, because there are just certain connotations with some of the actions and some of the things in the lifestyle that someone in my race would see differently. So I like writing that and reframing the mindset, right? So if I was supposed to do hockey, which I did do in one of the books, and that one has been received way better than the other one, is that I would find some way to integrate my brand into it and have fun with it. I wouldn't just write a hockey romance for a hockey romance sake, right? And I may write sports romances again. I don't know. It depends. But again, whatever I write, I will be spinning them to match what I enjoy. If you aren't enjoying it, the readers will tell. They will know. And it doesn't really matter. It doesn't make sense for me to sit down and say, what do readers want? Maybe the readers don't want this. It doesn't make sense, and I had to learn that the hard way, because guess what? The readers may come, the readers may not, but you have to sit with yourself and write these stories. And generally when you're writing, especially right now if you're writing romance, most times you're writing a book in a series. It's not a standalone. So it's not a one-off. So you're going to be living with these tropes and these ideas and these themes for a while. You may as well enjoy it, because you're going to get yourself miserable and again probably lead to burnout because you're not going to be having fun or enjoying what you're doing. So that's the fourth thing I learned, and what I think I'll be doing differently in 2026 and continuing on is I'll be taking whatever tropes I want to use and spinning them to what I enjoy and making them suit me, right? It's about what Deidre wants in her books versus what the readers will. Because I guarantee you, if you enjoy it and if you are having fun writing it, your readers will enjoy it as well, right? Your ideal readers will enjoy it as well. So that was mistake number 4 and what I learned from it. Now on to my final one, which is, it's a little bit shorter, but it's also a very important lesson to learn. And I think the last thing sort of piggybacks off mistake number 4. And it's about trying to do things right versus trying to do things sustainably. Now, this may be a little bit confusing to a lot. You may be already thinking, wait, you're doing things wrong? That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. A lot of the mistakes that I've made, a lot of the other 4, came from me trying to be the right kind of author, or what I thought was the right kind of author. You know, the author that wrote the popular things, and the author that wrote like what was trending versus what mattered to me, or the right way of writing every day versus writing when I could realistically write, or saying yes to everything because that's the right way. You gotta network. I was so focused with doing things right in 2025 that for half of the year I was doing things dangerously wrong. It takes a lot to build a business, and for a sustainable business and for sustainability, you want to be consistent. The only way you're going to be consistent is to be true to yourself, what you can handle, what you can manage, and not trying to be everyone else. The right way is a myth. There is no right way to publishing. You have to learn what is right for you. Now for me, that may be filling my calendar with a bunch of releases that may never see the time of day. But for you, it may be sitting down and realistically planning out what you can output and planning your releases months in advance. Versus for me, I may come up with something today to be released 2-3 weeks from now, because I just like the thrill of having the challenge. I like the thrill of having a challenge, right? That may drive you nuts. So I think the main thing, if I leave you with nothing else, is that there is no right way to publish anything. There's no right way of writing. There's no right way of, well, you have to follow grammatical conventions and stuff. And even then, those rules and can be tweaked. It's all like subjective based on your writing style, based on what you're doing. Like, it's what's right for you. So don't conform to stuff that doesn't suit you. Figure out. Now, I'm not saying to go all wonky now and not do anything. There are some conventions you need to pay attention to. But I mean, like the weird ones that, you know, are pushing you to kill yourself, to off yourself, just to be right in publishing. I say don't do it. Figure out what's right for you and go with that. Now, while doing that, you have to understand that the right way for you may not be the right way for your neighbor, may not be the right way for your friend, but it will, because you're all going on different paths, you will have different timelines. So don't compare yourself. Something may take you a year to do that may take me 2 months. Something may take me 3 years to do that may take you a month. We're not the same. We will never be the same. So what we can do is share each other along, share the journeys that we are on, share what we've learned, so that each person can listen to the lessons, listen to the mistakes, listen to everything that we've picked up along the way, and make it work for them. Because everyone in this world of publishing, we're all on the same journey. We're taking different paths, but if we work together and share the information and not gatekeep, we can all get to the end together. So that is what I'm going to end this on. This has been part 1 of the mistakes I've learned along the way. And I just wanted to talk about stuff differently, about the boundaries I've had to set, the systems I've learned, you know, how I'm going to be approaching sustainability in 2026 for me going forward, and reflecting on my year and what all have come into getting to the point I am. And I hope this reminds you guys that your mistakes aren't failures. They're things that you learn from, and mistakes can be simple things you don't even realize are mistakes while you're doing it until you're looking back. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave this today. Remember to do all the things that the YouTubers tell y'all to do. Go ahead and hit that like button if you liked this video, and if you like the type of content that I'm coming out with now. Hit that like button so that I know. It really helps me in the algorithm and helps YouTube know that people appreciate the type of content that I'm putting out. Subscribe to my channel. Videos will be coming more frequently now. And hit that notification bell so you know each and every time a video goes live. That is all for me today. I am wishing you a prosperous and healthy and sustainable 2026. I hope you get all your dreams are achieved. If you set any resolutions, I hope you go after them with all your might. I will be here to cheer you on, and I hope you guys will be here to cheer me on as well. Wishing you a prosperous, healthy, safe, and secured 2026 and beyond. Until next time, I'm Deidre Anderson, and let's get sustainably profitable together. I don't know what that was, but we're going with it. Bye, y'all.